Welcome to a Fortify experience where I will be sharing with you a pass through a simple process that's personalized for you to help you quickly strengthen your self-control. The Fortify process does this by guiding you to be able to see, hear, and feel yourself being that person that you truly want to be. Because the better you feel about who you are, the more you can create more satisfying relationships, a healthier self-esteem, and a greater self-confidence that can carry you into a more positive, productive, and fulfilling path forward. Now, what are the benefits of having self-control? Well, for one thing, it's easier to ward off bad influences or temptations. Another thing is that you can't be as easily distracted or overwhelmed. And another thing is that you're not being victimized by your uncontrolled actions. Now, during this process, you will be filling in 7 blanks from A through G, so have a piece of paper and a pen or pencil handy so that you can write down your answers. And if at any point during the video you need to have extra time to complete the statements, feel free to pause the video. And if at first you have trouble thinking of your own specific examples, feel free to use the examples in this video as your own because it'll still work. So now let's begin the process. The first step is to fill in the blanks to the statement. The thing that stops me from seeing, hearing, or feeling myself having self-control is B. Now write down having self-control for A, and then write down why it specifically stops you for B. An example could be, I let my bad habits take over. Or, I can't stop myself from losing my cool. Or, I can't accomplish the goals that I set out for myself. So now once again, the statement is the thing that stops me from seeing, hearing, or feeling myself having self-control is B. Now step 2 is the statement, to fill in the statement, the reason that bothers me is because it makes me feel C. Now C is going to be your real, uncensored, underlying feeling that you have when you think about this situation. So it could be, it makes me feel weak, or maybe it makes me feel erratic or irrational. Maybe it makes me feel frustrated. So now fill in your personal C. For the reason this bothers me is because it makes me feel C. Now here comes step 3. Now this is the key to the ingenuity and the effectiveness of the Fortify process, because here is where we're going to uncover the specific positive aspect within you that's now unintentionally being ignored, dismissed, dishonored, or even forgotten in this situation. This positive aspect is something that you love, value, or respect about yourself, and that you know to be true about yourself. And it's what's missing when you're feeling C. So the statement is, the fact that I feel C demonstrates that the positive thing I love, value, or respect about myself is D, where D is some aspect of yourself that's not being used or honored in this situation. So an example could be, I get a lot done when I set my mind to it. Another thing could be, I break things down into doable parts. Or another one could be, I know I need to be more in balance. So again, the statement is, the fact that I feel C demonstrates that the positive thing I love, value, and respect about myself is D. Fill in your D. Now in step 4, it's time to fortify that D in your mind-body system. And this is easy because here's where you simply remember a time in your life when you were activating and using D, that positive aspect that you discovered in step 3. These are memories that remind you that you have been able to trigger that positive aspect D naturally and automatically in other situations in your past. So the statement is, I know D because E. So now search your memory and find any pattern or circumstance in any area of your life that confirms the fact that you possess that positive attribute D. Now at this point there could be many examples, but sometimes the simplest ones can be the best. So some examples could be, I have completed major projects. Or another thing could be, I want to be efficient. Another example would be, when I feel in balance, I get more done. So again, the statement is, I know D because E. Now in step 5, it's time for you to think of a specific time when you experienced that positive value in the past. So a specific time when I really felt the strength and power of E was F. Now examples could be when I cleaned out my garage, or when I organized a party for 100 people, or maybe when I moved to my new apartment. So again, the statement is a specific time when I really felt the strength and power of E was F. So now we go to step 6. Remember back to that time F. And we want you to go back there and really re-experience the whole event and see what you saw then, and hear what you heard then, and feel what you felt then, and feel what it really felt like, and feel how good or strong it really made you feel. And feel the inner strength from that experience that makes you feel inspired, empowered, or really, really good about yourself. Now make that feeling really strong, and then double it. And now triple it until you can feel that feeling vibrating all throughout your entire body. And now identify in a word or two, what's the underlying real strength? The statement is, the underlying real strength that made F so powerful for me was G. So now examples could be, I was determined and on a roll. Or maybe it was prioritization. Or it could be, I was in control. So now fill in your personal G. Next is the copy process. This is where you're going to copy or embed that real strength G from another time in your life into that issue that you started out with. Now focus on that powerful real strength feeling G in your body and hold on to it. And now make it really strong. And then now double it. And then triple that until you can feel it vibrating through your entire body. And then imagine taking some of that powerful energy G and putting it into a bowl in one of your hands while still holding on to that real strength G in your body. And feel that energy, that positive energy pulsating in your hand. And so now as you hold a ball of that powerful positive energy G in one hand, remember what that old feeling C felt like, and put a ball of that energy C into the other hand. Now you're about to experience a powerful neurolinguistic programming technique that can be so effective in locking in your awesome inner real strength. We're going to use that ball of positive energy G that's in your one hand as a solvent that will completely dissolve that negative energy C that's in your other hand. So as you feel those two balls of energy with those completely different feelings pulsating in your hands, as you bring your hands together, start noticing how the positive energy can literally dissolve the negative energy in the other hand. And keep mixing that solvent of positive energy in with the negative energy until all of the C energy is totally and completely dissolved, and all you can feel is that positive energy of G, and it feels so good. Wow. Now let's see how you did. I want you to start a new list and write down your original A. Now, using the same A as you used before, having self-control, complete the following statement. The thing that stops me from seeing, hearing, or feeling myself having self-control is B. Now write down your new B. You may be surprised that your new B is different from your original B. And this is fantastic because when this happens, it proves that your previously hidden inner strength has been both activated and installed into that original feeling that you started out with. Otherwise, your B would have been the same as it was before. This is the uniqueness of the Fortify process. It proves that your state of mind has progressed because it validates that you have transformed and shifted yourself into a different and perhaps more powerful state of mind or a more peaceful state of being. And this is a benefit that you can't get from any other technique. So now at this point, if you have not been able to yet answer nothing for B, then it means that you simply can come back and do more passes through the Fortify process so you can find and stack additional positive inner strengths into that original situation. And each time you come back, you'll be using or getting a newer B until you can finally answer nothing for B, or until you're satisfied with the progress that you've already made. Now, some issues can be really complex, and sometimes I've gone through numbers of passes through the Fortify process before I could finally answer nothing for B. But that's when I'm able to really feel relieved, because that's when I just don't feel the same grip or sting of the original situation. And not only that, but I can see myself feeling more self-assured, more self-confident, and recognizing options and inner resources that I didn't realize that I had before. And when you just don't feel the same anymore, imagine how different you can feel and how different things can be when similar situations come up in the future. Can you imagine how good you can feel in the future, having improved your self-control? You might wind up being a lot more surprised than you ever thought you could be. Not only that, but by activating and embedding those previously hidden positive inner strengths, you've also boosted your self-esteem and your self-image for that situation. And this is something that can't be taken away now that your real strengths have been brought into your conscious awareness. And don't be surprised if you find yourself exhibiting those real strengths in other areas of your life too, because now you're consciously aware that you have those real strengths, and that means you'll now be able to use them to your advantage. I always find it fun and eye-opening to do this Fortify process because it makes me feel good to find and activate inner strengths that I forgot that I had. I hope you have surprising and rewarding insights about yourself like I've had. The fantastic thing about Fortify is that it not only proves but also confirms that you now have the power to uncover and activate positive hidden inner resources whenever you want to. So now thank you for joining us, and we suggest that you look at the other issues that we cover in our YouTube videos to see what might apply to your other situations. And please tell your friends and family about these videos, because you never know who they will help. And they're all free with no strings attached. We'd love to hear about your Fortify experiences, so send your comments to thefortifyexperience@gmail.com. And also check out our Facebook page and the Fortify Kindle book on Amazon.com by clicking on the links below. And please subscribe to our channel so that we can keep you informed of new information and videos. Thank you so much for joining us. See you next time.